Hello, everyone. I am Marquessa Keith, and I am going to be speaking to you today on leaders are made and they take action. So, made leaders take action and they lead with purpose. So, you're not a born leader, you're a made leader, and you're a made leader who take action. So, whoever thought that women couldn't successfully be wives, have a professional career, business, and do it all at the same time? Whoever thought that was sadly mistaken. I'm a business owner, I'm a coach, I'm a shoe designer. My point here is to tell you that you have to be able to operate as a leader with multiple things going on all at the same time to support the different systems and processes that you have in place that will help you recharge. As a leader, you need to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Even leaders at the forefront of success must predict change throughout their lifetime in order to stay ahead. Case in point, I have not arrived yet. You have not arrived yet, which leads me to my next point. Made leaders are constantly shaped, groomed, mentored, and coached more often than none. And leaders are expected to be challenged, but they're not expected to be defeated. So you must have a vision that is clear, concise, meaningful, and effective at getting results for your entire organization. That's how things function very well, smoothly, seamlessly, and you get the effects that you're trying to achieve is you must have a clear vision. And if you don't know your why, I won't say don't just know it. You have to know your why and you have to understand your why so other people can understand it. So, the objective and the intention here during this session is to inspire and empower you to connect with that take action leadership skills and ability that's not sometimes, it's not always easy, especially for women in the workplace. And my constant affirmation, no matter what I'm going through or what is going on around me as a successful leader, is to ensure that God put me in the right place at the right time for the right reason with the right people who want to help because there's no I in team and there's no I in leadership. You need people. In your professional career, in today's world, there's a large professional landscape and it is complex in the midst of a pandemic. So you are forced to make a lot of changes. Your skill set, your experiences, having mentors, being a mentee, it's all critical. Your professional career is also your brand, it's your image. So I want to make sure you know you need to have mentors on deck, and it's a two-way street because as a mentee, this is a time-phased event. It's a kind of investment that you have to do your part. And time is of the essence. So if you're going to seek mentorship and you're going to be a mentee, take full advantage of that. Don't waste your time. Don't waste anyone else's time. The first thing I did when I looked for a mentor is I established those relationships by simply observing because I needed to watch what people would say and do. And then I started to focus in on the result oriented actions of the people in my personal and my professional spaces and environments and throughout my entire life. And the reason why I tell you that leaders are not born and they're made is from birth, you are establishing leadership skills as a child all the way into your adulthood. So that establishes your credibility. So when you're looking for mentors to lead you and shape those skills, you want to make sure that they have credibility as well. Something that extends beyond face value, meaning that when they're not in the room and you're calling their name, it carries weight for you because now you need to be able to take that, compound it to the trusted agent factor, where you need a trusted agent sometimes because maybe your venting is a time for you to also identify and you need someone to be very transparent with you to get you to the next level. Women in the workspace, it can be difficult, especially when you're talking about value in your leadership and not having it be mistaken for assertiveness. Let your value in your written and your oral messages speak towards dignity and respect and be a strong writer so people can understand when you're trying to counter what it is that has to happen. So the perceptions of assertiveness and feeling like you're being harshly judged is not always the case because you know what it is that you are doing and what you're trying to get after. And I would tell you, that it helps to lessen the blow when you have those skills as a made leader, the tension, so that you can now be viewed as a leader and not just bossy or someone who's trying to push people around, because that's a systemic problem for women in any workplace. A prime example you can do is simply thank people for bringing something to your attention, and allow yourself to be kind enough to say, allow me to address your concern. Will you agree that top priorities of the day or the week is critical enough for us to get through together? Because when you have milestones and deadlines, every boss has a boss. Every leader has another leader. You want to make sure that you're focused on that so that you can help get the right results. You want to know what's on the decision maker's mind by having constant engagements, constant conversations, what keeps them up at night, and where can you close that gap? So you want to stretch your opportunities. Stretched opportunities are across networks, resources, and they create different professional challenges for different women, which is also another systemic thing that is addressed as well. Some other systemic problems in the workspace with women today and throughout history is the lack of inclusion. So know that in some cases where women are included up front, oftentimes it's late and sometimes it's probably hardly ever or not. So you have to pull up your own seat at the table and make sure that your voice is heard by giving value and receiving value. When women are included too late, it tends to minimize our quality, our work, and make us feel like we're rushed. And now we're dependent upon those complexities and the issues that we're trying to resolve. And now we're overwhelmed because we're worried about how much quality are we going to get out of that. So you want to make sure that you are mindful. It forces us to feel like we're trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat. And while women are automatically nurturers, and it's something that we just do and we know how to channel our emotions, it still doesn't necessarily make it right. So you have to pull that seat up to the table. And a lot of times you have to insert yourself sooner rather than later so that you'll know what's going on ahead of time. So you can get after effective quality work with the rest of the team, regardless of your gender. And when it comes to network and resources, you want to make sure you identify your Spark team in your locations. This will be your guided coalition of people that will always put a little bug in your ear when something is happening that they know you're not included in, or something you know you don't know about. So now it becomes a compound effect of what you share and what you put out in your workspaces. Those 6 ways of how you can create a Spark team is: number one, start with people that leave you feeling good about your brainstorming ideas once you're done spending time with them and talking through what your innovative, creative processes are. Identify the person who inspires you the most and make sure it's someone who's 10 steps ahead of you so that you can learn from them. And number 3, leave your intimidation at the door, because in some cases, that's a potential for you not to receive or be open to receive constructive criticism when it's needed. And that's a part of mentorship. Identify someone who supports you. We're all different. We all learn in different ways. Some of us are visual learners, some of us learn by reading. Academics plays a huge part. And then number 5, seek out the person who encourages you to be different and stretch yourself, because stretched opportunities require you to have a newfound hard and soft skill set so that you can keep up and be able to pivot in a time such as this. And most importantly, seek out the person who's fun, because when your energy is low, you don't want to talk to another low energy person. You want somebody that's going to lift your spirits up when you're down, when you can't, get a task done or you feel like something is going wrong. You want to make sure you have that spark team ready to lift you up. And don't get comfortable with being comfortable with the people you already know. I would encourage you to get comfortable by being uncomfortable, because when you get uncomfortable in those spaces, you will learn more about yourself from an outwardly approach instead of having that inward approach, and you don't get a different perspective about your own, like your own lifestyle, your own leadership style, and what triggers your behavior styles to change and send you off into an emotional tangent when it's not necessary. So no one have those perceptions of you being too assertive. And then take all of that and figure out what you can do by asking, suggesting, requesting, and then offering to bring more Spark team players into the professional space, and share the spotlight. Clap for your other sisters, clap for your other women that's in the workspace. Agree with them, take them with you. Don't compete with each other. Be a force, be a strong force on one front. And what I would like to do now is leave you with this. Pay attention to the people who are at the highest level. Take a look at Forbes magazine. Take a look at a lot of readings. Search for articles. And I'll tell you a person that I really love to mimic and follow and would love to have her as my personal mentor. And this comes from Rosalind Ross Brewer, who is currently right now the only Black CEO of a Fortune 500 S&P company. And in her words, she says, stay steadfast and know that your voice matters. That goes back to the seat at the table. Another challenge is lacking self-awareness. Not only do you need to be self-aware as a leader, but you need to be aware of what's going on around you so that you can properly empower yourself and empower other women. And if you're growing a business, know your why to growing your business. You also want to know why you're doing something that will help you develop a clear vision so that your business can run strong. You want to make sure you have a plan of action that will keep you on task, even if something knocks you down. And then last but not least, I want to leave you with an acronym that you can do a quick reference to no matter what is going on in any of the spaces that we just talked about. Be brief. And it's an acronym, BRIEF, BRIEF. Be brilliant, be resilient, be intelligent, be engaging, be faithful, and let your voice be heard. This is Marquessa Keith. It has been amazing talking to you and empowering you today. Thank you so much for your time.